Invocation Weaving Spiders, a brand new Sable Ward perk that allows you to do an invocation in the basement. Once complete, all generators are reduced by 10 charges. You also become injured and broken for the rest of the match. For all my gen rushers out there, your lives just became so much easier. Every generator is now quicker to finish, and all you have to do is an invocation for 2 minutes. 2 fucking minutes. Hanging out in the basement for 2 minutes straight is one of the most brain dead things I've ever done in Dead by Daylight. While doing the invocation, I played a few games of chess, then I checked my bank account. After paying a few bills, I watched 2 seasons of Bar Rescue and wrote this entire script, all in time to come back to the invocation with 30 seconds to spare. So yeah, the invocation is boring, but is the payoff worth it? I'll go over that, but more importantly, we're gonna put Invocation Weaving Spiders through our trademark 1 to 21 star rating system. The math for Invocation Weaving Spiders is actually pretty simple. It takes 120 seconds to complete the invocation, and that will save you 10 seconds on each generator. So if you still have 5 gens left to do in the game, you are saving you and your teammates 50 seconds. But 120 seconds isn't worth saving 50 seconds, so that means this is a bad perk, right? Well, it's not that straightforward, because this perk is like finishing about 13% of every generator, which is definitely more valuable. Gen progression is pressure, and the more pressure you apply to the killer, the more punishing it is for the killer to get involved in some long chase. But taking yourself out of the game for 120 seconds can also be a big issue. Don't forget, if your team finishes a generator or 2 in that time, it would reduce the time you save on generators to 40 or 30 seconds. Not only does Invocation Weaving Spiders have a ridiculously long process, it has an incredibly long name. This seems to be the first of potentially many invocation perks that can be brought into Dead by Daylight, which means this perk might even get stronger as behavior continues to add more invocation perks into the game. That's because the only way to speed up the invocation process is by having a teammate join. A second teammate will speed up the process by 50%, but that gets bumped up to 100% if that person is also running an invocation perk. Right now, it doesn't make a ton of sense for 2 people to be running Invocation Weaving Spiders, but potentially down the road when there's multiple invocation perks, there could be some crazy synergy between perks. That's all speculation though on my part, because I'm not sure if that's behavior's plan. There's a pretty nasty build you can run with Invocation Weaving Spiders that makes gen rushing so easy. It starts with hyper focus to get the great skill check bonus, and then you add in this is not happening to get a larger great skill check area. The final spot can be either resilience, stakeout, or maybe even deja vu. You really can't go wrong with any of them. Running this build, I felt like I could gen rush by myself, honestly. Fuck my team. A bunch of lames anyways. I don't need them to win the game. The best way to use this perk is to have multiple people participate at the start of the match in order to get the benefits faster. Luckily, when doing an invocation, the progress is shown to your entire team on the side hub. Your aura is also revealed so others can see you and join it. I would definitely lean towards using this perk in a Swift, because when I was in solo queue, even if my teammates joined in, it was already a little too late. If you're with your friends, you can communicate before the match who's going to join you in the invocation so you can knock it out in half the time. It's also nice to be on comms with your teammates to remind them not to bring the killer near the basement, because you don't want any interruptions when you're using this perk. It's tough to give any perk a rating, but luckily this perk gave me plenty of time to think. A lot of time to think. Almost too much time to think. It's a fun perk. It's a creative perk, but gameplay wise, it's just not the best perk. Sitting and doing nothing for 120 seconds is brutal, and I'd much rather sit and do nothing on a generator for 90 seconds. At least generators give my ADD brain something to do every once in a while with the skill check. Even ignoring the fact that this perk requires you to sit in the basement for 2 whole minutes, the payoff doesn't seem to do too much to change the landscape of a game. I think gen progress is more so reliant on your teammates, not this perk. It's gonna get an 11 out of 21 stars from me, which means it is slightly worse than Strength in Shadows, another Sable Ward perk. If you haven't seen that video yet, you can watch it right here.